Good evening, Gogglefrogs.
Hello.
How are you this evening? I hope you're having a wonderful week, and great that you're joining us on Wednesday evening. And you know the rules on a Wednesday evening. I hope you've got some knitting, and I'm just casting something on. Marion hasn't got knitting, but Marion is thinking about what she could be knitting in a few weeks' time or in a few months' time. And I hope that you've got yourself something to drink. I think Marion may be on water. I'm not. So I've decided to have a drink tonight.
That looks very interesting, though. I like the blue tinge to it.
Do you know what? Tonic water is what gives it that look. If ever you go into a nightclub, you can tell if somebody's drinking gin and tonic because it goes luminous. And I don't know why. I don't know whether we've got UV light somewhere. But yeah, it always like...
It looks very interesting.
Yeah, so I've got a you know me and my gins by now. I love London dry gin. I know there's lots and lots of gins out there, but giving me a really good, strong tasting London dry gin. Oh, there's nothing better.
I do like a London dry gin, but I do like my flavoured ones.
You do, don't you? So a big cheers to every Gogglefrogger out there watching us live or watching us on replay. And if you're watching us on replay and you're at work, then maybe you've just got a cup of tea or something like that. But I'm Angela and this is Marion, and we will be with you for the next hour or so. I think we've got some music. We'll see what we've got. So anyway, we are going to be with you and enjoying the evening. And I'm sure that we've got some stories of what we've been up to today over the last few days. And Marion's been away on holiday. And I think that she had a little story to tell us. So let's see if she does want to tell us this story. I don't know.
I'll tell you.
I don't know whether I should say something like, we don't need to do this, but I'm just going to sit in Jonathan Vernon Smith's shoes and say, you can tell your story without naming any company names. No, you can't.
Oh, I'm happy to name every company going.
But this is all about wool, and can I just say, it looks blue, but it's not. It's purple. It is.
It looks purple. It looks purple.
Oh, does it? But it's a royal, vibrant purple. More of a violet rather than that purple. So anyway, I've just cast on with this. I thought I'd make my mum something else. So we will see what happens tonight. So we've got a chat box. Please put notes and talk in the chat box. We'll read it out because if anybody's watching on replay, you're not going to be able to see the chat box. So hello, everyone on replay. Hello, everyone on YouTube. And and we've got a Facebook group, and we'll see if anything's gone into Facebook, even though I think I've got about 34 tabs open at the moment. But don't worry, I'll be able to work that one later. And all I can smell is chutney. I made chutney yesterday. Was it? Yeah, it was yesterday. It said it had to cook for 5 hours. Oh, my word. Was it a rubbish recipe? I ended up cooking the thing for 5 hours, waking up this morning thinking, I still only have about 50-60% taste. So for me, stuff that tastes okay is really, really strong for other people. I didn't think there was enough chili in it. I didn't think there was enough spice in it. So anyway, when my mum tasted it today, after I'd grated another 4 apples in it and everything, it nearly blew her head off with the chili. So I'll be sitting there thinking, oh, this is fine. This is the right heat. And it will just, eradicate everyone else's taste buds. So all I can smell is vinegar and chutney that has been made over the last 24 hours.
Which is more than you could do a few weeks ago.
I know. And do you know what? When I actually poured the gin out earlier, it was a revelation because it hit the ice cubes in the bottom of the glass and I smelt gin. I thought I haven't smelt gin in 18 months. So, bit by bit, my smell is coming back. So that's good. Although I still can't smell a burning pan. So, but hey ho, hey ho.
Well, my house smells of spag bowl.
Oh, does it?
Well, I've made it
Oh,
today for tomorrow. Well, because it always tastes better the following day, doesn't it?
Oh, so shall we say some good evenings?
I think that's a very good idea.
Fabulous. So,
do you want to do the good evenings and I'll do the chat?
Yeah, so hello, Renee. Lovely to see you again. And hello, Rebecca. Lovely to see you too. And hello, Louise. How are you doing? And hello, Janice. How's London? Hopefully you were fine with all of that flooding that we had the other day. Was it yesterday or the day before? So hopefully you were fine. Hello, Jackie. Well done, Jackie, doing lots of running, getting certificates and doing even more. So well done, Jackie. And hello, Grace. How are you doing, Grace? Lovely to see you again. And hello, Georgie. Lovely to see you. And hello, Brigitte. How are you doing? So a big cheers to everyone, and do let us know what your little tipple is this evening. If you're on the alcohol-free, the decaf tea, whatever it is, or if you've, well, I've just given my mum's talking to my dad at the moment, and you know what it's like. You don't want to drink in front of somebody who can't drink anymore because of his tablets and because he's in a care home and stuff. So I said, there's your cherry juice, which was the cherry wine. I said, there's the lemonade, which was the gin and tonic. So my dad's got a cup of tea and my mum's got a cherry juice and a lemonade. But there's rather a bit of a kick in both of my mum's drinks. So yeah.
Oh, I would imagine, knowing your mum. Oh, Grace says good evening. Good evening, Grace. Lovely to see you again. Brigitte says evening, peeps, and this number never fails to amaze me how far we've got. 277. We're not far off 300. Do you realise that? Only another 23.
Wow.
And that, when we break it down, is 7 weeks.
That's not long at all, is it? It's just
it's not long at all. Where are we now? We're middle September. That's 2 months away. October. That'll be November.
Wow. That's unbelievable. So thank you for being with us in this huge journey. You are Gogglefrogs. All we do is turn up and press a button. You're the people who keep it going.
Georgie says evening, and I've got to admit, a little box came up and covered one of her X's, and I thought, she's not saying evening Xmas, is she? Evening all, says Jackie. Rebecca says hello all. And she goes on to say that all she can smell is butter and mixed spice. She made Auntie Daisy's cake this afternoon. Great for you to be able to smell anything. You're going to have to share Auntie Daisy's cake recipe, I think, Rebecca.
Yes, please do. That sounds
something I'll tell you later. Yeah. Louise says, evening, everyone. Joining for a short while. Rebecca says, good point, Mariam. Cherry Copperberg is in my near future. Oh. It has alcohol in it. Now, I like a cherry beer. I will only drink certain beers. Cherry, raspberry. That's it. End of story. And she goes nearly 300. Wow.
I know.
Brigitte says she's losing the will to live. Been trying to get my laptop to join the internet for over an hour. Still on my phone. Oh dear. Has it broken, Brigitte? Has it decided that it's gone to the great laptop heaven?
If you want, I can pop round at some point and try and have a look. I'm not great with stuff like that, but I can have a look and see if I can help out.
And Linda's just joined us. Hello, Linda. I think we've got somebody else that's joined us as well, but I'm not sure.
Hello, Robert. Robert is around.
Hello, Robert. Lovely to see you.
Yes.
Right. Do we want to do music? Oh, and Brigitte says it shouldn't, as it's fairly new. I must admit, mine sometimes has glitches in it, so
yeah,
I turn everything off and let it rest for a few minutes before.
Yeah, reboot, restart, and then there's a tiny little setting. You know, when I got this laptop, I didn't have sound. Honestly, the number of issues I had with this blinking thing when I first got it, and there were so many little buttons that I didn't quite understand. Yeah, and some of them turn off the volume. There were 3 or 4 different settings, and computers are just so frustrating at times.
They're wonderful when they work.
Yeah, they are. But when they don't work, yeah.
And don't forget, we've got to put ourselves in the mindset of the person who designed it, because he would have designed it, or she would have designed it as simple for them.
Yes, definitely.
But we've got to think as the logical way that they would have done it, which isn't necessarily the logical way that we do it. Now we're getting to be like the butter thing.
Butter. I think we're at butter already, aren't we?
We are.
Well, without further ado, shall we have a listen?
Robert just says that she's working on Gogglefrogs in the background and he'll join soon. And Brigitte says she's tried all that, turning it off, turned it on, winding it down, winding it up, etc., etc. I think she needs a little bit of help from our resident whiz kid.
Yeah, well, he's back at work tomorrow. I'm not a whiz kid, but I can have a look. I can see if there's anything I can do. So we will see. So shall I see what's on the music?
Yeah, you got it right, Robert.
Oh?
It's all right. I'm answering Robert.
Right. So we are going to listen to tonight's little ditty. Who knows what this music is? But sit back, enjoy, and let's hope that this makes you smile. And I'm happy. I say this every Wednesday night now because I know it's not going to be the birdie song. One of these days he's going to play a joke and it's going to be on there. But let's just say we'll never ever have to hear the birdie song again. So we'll go on to mute and enjoy tonight's little ditty. Thank you, Grace, for letting us know who it was. I've heard that song before, but I had no idea who it was. So it was Bewitched. I do know that they were pretty big at the time. And I don't know if anybody has actually gone on to be a singer in there on their own. I'm not too sure, but I'm sure somebody will let us know. But yes, a very jolly little Wednesday evening song. At the beginning, I thought, I have no idea what this is. I really haven't until the chorus came up, and then thought, I have heard it before. So thank you, Robert.
It's sort of bouncy.
Yes, it has. So big in the 90s. Oh my word. Do you know what? Bet some of them are grandparents already now. You know, when you just think, you don't realise the 90s was what, 20 odd years ago? Oh my word.
30.
Hello, Robert.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm all right, thank you.
I'm fine. Cheers. Lovely of you to join us.
So I've just worked out episode 300. We need to rework this out because this doesn't work. Episode 300 is due to be on Monday, the 8th of November.
Right.
So we either need to squeeze a couple in or take a couple out. Somewhere. But we can work that out later. But at the moment, it should be Monday, the 8th of November.
Okay. And once it doesn't really make any difference because nobody's traveling internationally. Because I'm always away the week of the 17th, but no one's going anywhere this year.
I'm going down to Worthing on the 8th of November.
I normally go to Belgium, and seeing as Belgium's been a red spot since we first went into this blooming lockdown last year.
Is it still red?
Huh?
Is it still in the bad way?
It's just constantly been like that. So it's just, you know what? It's just too much hassle to try and get through France and through Belgium. It's just, we'll go as soon as everything lifts, if you know what I mean. Half of our restaurants aren't there anymore. So, you know, you go to different countries, don't you? And you have your favourite places to go to. It's just like, oh, you know. Don't even know how you book restaurants in half of these countries anymore. So never mind. Oh, yeah. But hey ho, we will sort out the 300th episode. Who knows? It's probably best to be on a Wednesday night, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, probably for everybody else, but not for me. But yeah.
Well, it really needs to work around you, Robert.
We'll make it
We
work
will.
somewhere.
We'll get it sorted. It'll all sort itself out.
Wednesday night. How about a Thursday night, Robert, or a Friday night?
Don't know.
We will have a look and we will let you know. So that'll be good fun, won't it? What?
No, ignore that. I don't know what the hell I've done. I've been putting in 2019 dates.
Back in the room.
Yeah. Okay.
Back in the room. Okay. And once upon a time, there was a little story about butter. Never mind. We'll just go off at a tangent. So we will sort it out. It's a few extra shows, and then we're at 300. Yeah, and hopefully at some point the world will go back to normal. But every time, do you know what? Every time everyone thinks we're going to go back to normal, something happens, doesn't it? So never mind.
Yep. Yep.
Oh,
I'll tell you about my weekend then.
Yes, do you know what?
Yes, please.
She left us in total suspense.
Right. I had a great weekend. I went down to Littlehampton to visit a friend of nearly 50 years. And she's on the committee of the Littlehampton show. So I judged the handicrafts. So I went down Thursday, stay at Horsham. Train was late, signalling problems. So instead of going via Clapham Junction, I had to go into London Victoria. Not a problem. They've now put in lifts, but the lifts go up a level, you walk half a mile, up a level, you walk another half a mile, and you do that 4 times before you get to the main concourse. So that's okay. I finally get to Horsham 2 hours late. 2 hours later than I anticipated. Friday goes fine. I meet my friend. We agree that at 6:30 Saturday morning, she will ring me so that I can catch the 8 o'clock train to Barnum and change for Littlehampton. 3:30 in the morning, the fire alarm goes off. The hotel is evacuated. And we're stood outside for half an hour until the fire brigade say that we can go back in. Needless to say, you have one guest who can't say a sentence without using an expletive, or 2, or 3, or the whole sentence being an expletive. And there were children about, but never mind. So go back to my room. Of course, for the next 3 hours, I don't sleep because I keep thinking, I've got to be up in 3 hours. I've got to be up in 2 hours. So in any case, get down to the station. Train's delayed. There's been an event at Croydon. Somebody had unfortunately been, yeah. Yeah. But I was lucky. My train had got through just before the event. But it had to be rerouted via Dorking. So that was delayed by half an hour. So I was 3/4 of an hour late getting into Littlehampton.
Oh my gosh.
So then I got to Littlehampton and my friend met me. I went off and I did the judging. My judging for a change went smooth as smooth. The only slight argument we got was, why is that little thing being given first prize instead of that big thing? Well, because the little thing was perfect and the big thing wasn't. Because you judge
size doesn't matter. Perfection does.
However, we only had one cake judge. And if I tell you that there were 10 Victoria sandwiches, 10 fruit cakes, 10 honey cakes, plus shortbread, plus cupcakes for her to judge, she didn't want to see a cake after.
The poor thing. Oh my word.
So she was absolutely filled to the brim with cake. Then we had problems with the fruit and veg judging. There was what they called a salad basket. That was fine until somebody pointed, it all been judged, until somebody came up and said, there's a salad basket that's been marked wrong. Why, what's wrong with it? It's got a cabbage in it instead of a lettuce. So that all had to be rejudged. Then somebody had put in French marigolds instead of African marigolds, or round the other way. So that had to be rejudged. And that meant that all the markings, because all these markings go towards cups, and all the winning prizes, financial prizes, had to be redone. And I sat and helped my friend do that because she's the assistant treasurer. So it was all good fun.
Oh my word. Who'd have thought that there could be so much animosity over a cabbage in a box?
Oh no, it was in a trug. It was in a
trug. In a trug.
So I got back to the hotel and I'm dozing off. And I was in bed and out cold until 9 o'clock in the evening. And I didn't wake up until 9 o'clock the following morning.
Oh my word. I'm not surprised.
I had a great weekend. I'm doing it again next year.
I was going to say, really eventful. Well, next year you'll have to be a cake judge as well.
Well, next year Richard's coming down with me.
Oh.
And I said to them, at least we know if Richard does it, it's definitely a blind taste.
You can get Ollie to judge it.
No, Ollie won't care. It's food.
Exactly. Everything would be given first. Oh, bless. So, a bit eventful, a bit long.
Oh, yeah.
But was your journey home okay?
The train was luckily late because if it'd been on time, I'd have missed it.
Oh dear. Oh, but you had a nice time, which is the main thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it was lovely to see Helen again.
Oh, wow.
She's my daughter's godmother. And the only time we get to see each other is when I go down to Littlehampton. But then it's as though we saw each other yesterday. And if she was to phone me now and say, I need you, I'd say, like, bye-bye, I'm off. And I'd be off down there.
Yeah.
And she would do the same for me.
Oh, that's nice. And we have those friends, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm very fortunate. I've got two friends like that.
Oh, that's very good.
And in some cases, that's two more than some people have.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But yeah, so was your weekend as eventful, Robert?
My weekend was mostly full of car shopping.
Car shopping?
That's nice, isn't it?
No, not yet, Marion. We're eliminating cars that we don't want. Right. It's going to be my car, but because it'll become our primary car, Gary gets a big say, so I can't just go and get what I want. So we spent Saturday, we did a test drive of one type, and then Sunday we went and we didn't do any test drives on Sunday, but we did eliminate a few, and then I went out again today to test drive what is our primary one at the moment. And I've come home, I've told him all about it, told him I've fallen in love with it, absolutely love it, he'll love it, and he winced at the price, obviously. But yeah, I think we're kind of 90% there. So, but we
how much was it? That sort of a win?
Yeah, no, because that was at the weekend when he realised that actually we would need to find a bit more than we had priced it at to get what we wanted. And today's was actually good news, because I said to him, I don't think it's going to cost as much as we thought it was going to cost if we go for this one. So that was all right. But we have got to wait until at least the 1st of November.
Far away.
No, but it's going to be a very painful 6 weeks, because that's my consultation period.
Oh.
Because the rule is I can't have a car if I haven't got a job.
And when will you know? Will you know on the 1st of November?
1st of November, yeah.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, you will be fine. We've got everything crossed for you.
But I am off on the 2nd. So if I get a job, I'm going to go buy a car on the 2nd.
Oh, brilliant. Oh. So just catching up on chat. If we sort of go backwards. Brigitte says, haven't done a stitch, is still trying to get Gogglefrogs on the laptop. So that's not looking very good, is it? And then on to Rebecca. Rebecca is saying about alcohol. It's literally been years since she had a cherry Copperberg. And it's not quite as sweet as she remembers it, but a very nice cider anyway. And Rebecca's weekend was full of workshops and talks and was very interesting. So, Rebecca, we want to know what the workshops were and what the talks were and where you were, because we want to know what you have learnt. So let us know.
Rebecca's going to put on Gogglefrogs, her Auntie Daisy's, was it? Cake recipe.
Yeah, I have taken a photo of it as well. So a little blurb.
I'm going to make it for Regional Day.
That would be fabulous. So brilliant. So we've got that. And then Deborah says, evening all. Rebecca says, Thursday night, when we were talking about changing the 300th episode, we may have some clashes with some things. Grace had said, I hope you claim the cost of your train ticket, Marion, because apparently you can.
Yes, I can. It was only £8. So
that was rather good. And then back to the music. Georgie said that she recognised them. She thought it was too tappingly good. And Brigitte says that tune was new to her. She's not into modern groups, but it's nice to hear something new, isn't it? And yeah, so it was Bewitched that we had tonight. And then Rebecca also said they were in the 90s, and it takes me a while to work out that we've not been in the 90s for ages. And she has said, she's mentioned that she is going abroad. She's going to, how on earth do I pronounce this? Wales somewhere. Cymraeg. I am not going to do a disjustice to Wales and try and pronounce that, because I know nothing is said as it is spelt.
I think it's Cymraeg.
Is it? Thank you.
That'll do. Good evening, Deborah, by the way. Deborah's now joined us.
Oh, yeah.
Deborah.
And Rebecca also says she went to her own town and found that loads of shops have vanished. Unfortunately, that is happening all over. So hopefully some new ones will pop up in there, and hopefully it'll be okay. But I think this is what's happening as we're starting to go out and about. We're seeing how many of our local town shops will have changed. Now, Brigitte said that Rod said he couldn't get a bed in the cardiac ward because there were more than 200 COVID cases there again. Sorry, Brigitte, I didn't realise that Rod was back in, if he is back in. So sending hugs from every Gogglefrogger. And so we will.
I think she meant
last
last week.
Okay.
Today, I think he's still at home.
That's okay. But yeah, things are happening, still going on out there. We've just got to be safe. haven't we? And sending all our love and hugs. Jackie says, what's happening with your job, Robert? There was a big announcement a little while ago about John Lewis and Waitrose, and consultation is when you have to sort of say what your preferences are, and then Robert will find out on the 1st of November what position he's been given. Is the way I am terming it, rather than whether you've got a job or not. So it is the position that Robert will have in the company as of the 1st of November. That's how.
And fingers crossed, double fingers crossed, I'll get my first choice.
Yes.
Which won't be the school, which won't be the shoe department for children.
Well, that I won't know. I won't get a choice for the department. I'm in the branch.
So,
because I've asked for some Keens.
So we will keep everything crossed for Robert. And and I'm sure that everything will work out really, really well. So it's so unfortunate. It happens so often. You've got to reapply for your jobs. You've got to say where you want to be. And it's so much emotional stuff. And I'm sure there's other people who've been through it as well. Things always work out in the end, but at the time it's pure hell going through this process. It's just not nice. So we do feel for you. And I
went through it twice, and when it started happening the third time, they gave me an offer I couldn't refuse, so I said bye-bye. But then I am considerably older than you, Robert, so I could do that.
Oh, yeah. You'll be fine. Don't worry, Robert. You really, really will be fine.
I'm not overly worried. I could pick up 3 John Lewis branches. I picked 2. Then suitable alternative employment, I could pick 3 Waitrose branches, so I did. And then after that, there was a section for unknown, so I picked 2 further unknown branches. So I have 7 options before they say, I'm very sorry, Robert, you have no job. And then I have 2 months to find something.
Within
the
then John Lewis Waitrose family. Okay.
Yeah. And if I don't have a job, when we get to Sheringham, then Sheringham is going to be one big almighty piss up. Let me just promise you that.
I think it will be anyway.
Because I will have left. My leaving date, my notice date, if I get that far, is the 15th of January. And we will be in Sheringham. That's Saturday night in Sheringham.
Oh, wow. Do you know what? One company I was in, fabulous company, we got taken over by an internet company, and you know how you have your own personal principles, and part of their principles were that nothing is a complaint unless at least 10% of the customer base complain about it. So it was like, sorry, I don't want to work for you. Well, will you manage all of the call centers? It's just like, sorry, I don't want to work for you. It's just, I said, I just don't want to work for you. And so you do realize that this means that you'll be made redundant. I went, yeah, that's fine. So I made myself redundant, every member of staff redundant. I negotiated all of these retention bonuses for people. And, my sales director said, oh my, you've made my job so easy because the other departments hadn't been this easy. I even left it to the person with the longest service to turn out the lights, and she was the last one to walk out of the company. The next morning, me and my management, my direct report managers, were on a flight at, I don't know what silly o'clock. I think we're at the airport about 4:00 in the morning, flying out to Budapest. I'm not joking. By the time we got to Budapest, we were already overly tipsy. So I'd been made redundant less than 12 hours before, including my managers, and we were all on the biggest party weekend ever. It was absolutely hilarious. So, and thankfully we just got our payments as well into our bank accounts like the day before. So, we had a nice time. So what you're saying I've done that. I've made myself redundant, including my whole team. It's 200 odd people redundant. And and then I was on a plane and partying. So it was really good. So don't worry, we will party for you. With you, not for you, with you.
I'm just going to share something very quickly. Look what just popped up into my email box.
No, Rebecca, there wasn't. Rebecca's saying that she hopes there were no threats of horse's head in the bed. And no, there weren't. Oh, what's that?
Oh, is that copper?
Yeah, copper interchangeable needles.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't need any.
Guess who they're from? Guess who they're from?
They are. Yeah, have a think, peeps. Oh, we can see there. Leica, yeah. Because they were all they are known for being driftwood. So I'm sat here thinking, because I've seen the stuff coming through about them. It's like, is it repurposed copper? I don't know. Or is it new copper that they're going into? But
it looks
again,
like rose gold, doesn't it?
Well, but copper is very good for arthritis, isn't it?
That's
so maybe there is something in it. I don't know, but they do use all driftwood, which is so ergonomic, isn't it? And ecological as well. So all of those things. So it'd be nice to see. So we'll do a little bit of research and find out.
Robert.
Sorry, Marion. I don't know.
I don't think the launch yet. Is that the preview?
How much moment? Rebecca says they are very pretty, but I'll stick with my current needles. Oh, maybe worth thinking about for my sister, who has had to stop knitting due to arthritis. Good point. But I must say I'm more than happy with my chow goose. Robert, you didn't hear. I'm allowed to knit for 20 minutes twice a day.
Oh, wow.
So we're getting there.
Definitely getting there.
Getting there. Which means I'll have my workshop ready for the 2nd of October.
The 5-inch interchangeable set, £120.
Right.
That's not bad. Mine were more than that.
Sorry, I'm getting hiccups now. That's all I need.
Oh, dearie me. I'll tell you what, though. There was no wool shop in Horsham. That's closed.
That closed when I worked there years ago. It was quite a nice little one.
Cross and Hamlin, the shop you found in Brighton, Robert, they've got a branch in Horsham, but that was relocating. So anybody that's down there that way, they've got loads of material going very, very cheaply. But there is apparently a shop in Dorking that does the sort of lovely yarn that you do. If anybody's down that way. Rebecca says 99.95 for a set, maybe not. And Brigitte says, I'll have a couple of sets then, not. But I must say, though, Horsham is a pretty little town. It's bigger than Leighton Buzzard, and it's sort of set out like around a square. So it's sort of little places to wander. And there's cobbled streets, and it doesn't look as empty as Leighton does. There's not so many empty shops.
I don't know. I think Leighton Buzzard is actually filling up now.
Well, I was down there today, and I still noticed empty shops. And of course, having that big one empty in Waterbourne Walk makes a
won't be empty for very long.
You reckon there's lots going in there, do you?
M&Co.
Yeah, where M&Co was.
Yeah. there's big plans afoot there, really good plans afoot there.
Yeah.
So
when somebody starting to go in there, then when's that going to open to the public?
December.
Right.
So yeah, that should be really good. Yeah, I mean so and it will make it so much better as well, because it's a little bit
So they're a bit unusual.
Sorry?
Some of them. I hope some of them are a bit unusual, but I don't know whether some of the residents of Leighton would like the unusual stuff.
I'm sure there will be something for everyone.
Yeah. Rebecca said she's now in danger. She's misplaced her sewing up needle in her big chair. Hopefully she'll find it without stabbing herself.
Oh,
I sat on a knitting needle once. I've still got the scar, but I'm not going to show it to you.
When you mentioned Horsham, sorry, I was just going to say to Horsham, I always remember going to the wool shop. That was where I bought my first ever bergère, and it's still in my stash. I've never used it. I got 2 different colours in it. It is lovely. It's still sitting there. The shop was closing down, and I thought, right, I'll buy whatever of these, and you know, it is nice, but I've just never used it. There's patterns that I'm never going to use. But it's always the same, isn't it? When there's a closing down sale, you go in, you buy all this stuff, and you just think, why did I buy this?
It's a bargain. It's a bargain.
I know.
Yeah.
And another day in Horsham, there was a master baker's there, and I used to, as I was walking up to work, I'd pop in there. And I'll never forget this one day. It was the beginning of the day, so it's probably about 7:45 in the morning, because I had to set off at silly o'clock to get there for sort of 8 o'clock meetings. And I walked in, and a pigeon followed me into this bakery. So as I walked in, this thing swooped behind me. The manager of the bakery started to scream and flap its arms, at which point this blooming pigeon, or piggion as I call him, this pigeon just went for the big open space, which was the window where all the cakes were, and started flapping around furiously over all of these things. And I just turned around, looked at it, burst out laughing because it was the funniest slapstick thing I'd seen in years, and said, I'll come back later. Left them to it. You know, when you just think, well, what do you expect me to do with a flapping pigeon? So, yeah, I always remember that. And,
I wonder if that bakery's still there.
I don't know. But at the time, I think there was a British Home Stores there, or a Littlewoods, one of the two.
No, of course, it's not there now.
No, I mean, it shut down when I was there. It must have been a BHS, a British Home Stores. But yeah, there was an amazing fish shop, and there were some really good little artisan shops as well around. Yeah, and there were some great restaurants there.
Yes, loads and loads of eateries.
Yeah, yeah,
really nice. Quite a nice, buzzy little town, but it still kept its individuality.
Yeah,
nice theatre. They had Educating Rita on with Stephen Tompkinson.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I must admit, I had thought of buying a ticket for Saturday night, but I didn't.
Just as well you didn't.
I'd have been sat snoring through it all, which wouldn't have got down with the rest of the patrons, but never mind, eh?
Oh dear.
I've done that before, Marion. I've done that before, gone to many a theatre show and cinema show, film, and just fallen asleep. Gary really, really wanted to see House of Mormon. Book of Mormon, sorry. And I wasn't really in the mood, but we went, and I slept almost from the opening bar right the way through to the end.
Oh, you enjoyed it that much?
woke up at the interval. He still doesn't know. I woke up at the interval because of the clapping. And he said to me, "You enjoyed it?" I went, "Yeah, it's really good, isn't it?" So we went off, got the refreshments, came back, sat back down. It started again. I was out within 30 seconds.
Is it a musical?
Yeah.
Oh,
I've never seen it, but yeah. Richard's grandfather, because of the job he did, he was, we're talking about the 1940s now. He was an ambulance driver. The only time he could get any sleep was by going to the cinema. So we'd go to the cinema and he'd sit there and he'd go to sleep. Then every so often, over the tannoy, they'd wake him up so that he could go and get somebody to take them to hospital.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I'll have to get Richard to tell Robert and you those stories, because if you don't, they'll die. They're the sort of stories that must have happened in every town and city in the country back then, about how people who were ambulance drivers and delivered blood and all that sort of thing were treated. Oh, Rebecca, she's just found her needle.
Yay!
And now there's a lot of blood about the place.
Gosh.
And Brigitte's given up on her laptop. The Demio site is not responding.
Oh.
And Linda says that a friend of hers was in the Book of Mormon.
Oh, wow. You see, I'd have quite liked to have gone to see it, but I didn't realise it was a musical. So I'm now glad I never booked a ticket for it, because I just don't do musicals at all. Alan likes musicals. Most human beings like musicals. I don't. So one day I booked myself a ticket to go and see something that I like. And so I booked Saturday afternoon matinee at the South Bank, and I said, right, I'm off to the theatre tomorrow. What are you going to see? Chekhov. Oh, you can't go on your own. I said, yes, I can. I'm going to the theatre. I'm going to have a couple of glasses of wine or something, have something to eat, and I'll come back. I'll be back just after tea time. I'll be fine. Alan says, no, I'm coming. I said, no, don't. So in the end, I got him a ticket, and I said, I'm off to see Chekhov. And he went, yeah. Well, for anyone who hasn't experienced Chekhov, it's rather unusual. And I just kept going on about Juliet Stevenson's in it, and Juliet Stevenson's in it. Within 30 seconds, Alan had somebody at the side of him who had really bad halitosis. Alan had a couple of drinks already, so he actually started snoring at one point out loud. I was loving it, and ever so often, as another person flew onto the stage and slammed a door in true Chekhov style, and Alan kept sort of half waking up, and it got to the interval, went outside, and Alan said to me, what on earth is this all about? I told you it's Chekhov, that's why I told you not to come with me, because if you don't like Chekhov, it is not easy to sit through. So then the next thing I took him to was an Alan Bennett, and I think Alan Bennett was even worse than Chekhov for him. So it's one of those things that I don't do musicals. He doesn't do my style, so we don't go to the theatre very often.
In the days when we did, we saw an Inspector Calls by J.B. Priestley, which I love.
I love Inspector Calls.
Every time the film's on, I have to watch it. We saw The Mousetrap. We saw Shirley Valentine, which was really, really good. We saw From a Jack to a Knave. And I took Kirsten when she was about 8 to see Me and My Girl at the Adelphi Theatre. It had Robert Lindsay and Emma Thompson in it. And I've still got the programme. So that would have been, she was born in 74, around about 1981, 82. And she absolutely adored it, because she was, we were in the Royal Circle, and she, as you know, a child is all over the place, and she's going, look over there, and everybody was following what she was, look over there. everybody was laughing because she was laughing so much. She was the only child in the in Arbit of the Royal Circle, and everybody was following what she was doing. And when she was laughing, they were all laughing. And I think they enjoyed. It was wonderful. I took her back to see it again. It was that good. We went and saw it again. And then when I was a lot younger, I was taken to the Palladium to see Cliff Richard in Aladdin and also in Cinderella.
Panto.
He was definitely in Cinderella. And Terry Scott and Hugh Lloyd were the Ugly Sisters.
Terry Scott off Terry and June. Scott.
Terry Scott and Hugh Lloyd. And they were absolutely amazing. If there's a YouTube of it, you got to find it. It was superb. They were, for me, the best ever Ugly Sisters that I have ever seen. Absolutely brilliant. But yeah, so yeah, and there have been other, but we don't go now for obvious reasons. You know.
Angela, you'd love The Woman in Black.
Yeah, I've never actually seen The Woman in Black.
You'd love
it. Do you know what? I was
like, oh my God, on the edge of your seat the whole time.
Really? Oh.
Yeah.
So I did enjoy The Mousetrap. And I don't know why we went to see it, but we did enjoy it. What else have I been? Oh, who's the only thing I can say is there's doors slamming, there's lots of scarves, and there's always a staircase. Noel Coward. I love
Live Spirit.
I don't know, but I just love watching Noel Coward stuff. It's just about nothing, isn't it? It's just a fab set, some beautiful clothes, some beautiful old-fashioned 1920s or 30s heels, and nothing happens. It's just great.
Live Spirit, something happens, but that's good fun.
Yeah. But
what was the other one he did? Where they're on two balconies. It'll come to me.
Poseidon Adventure.
No, that wasn't Noel Coward.
Sorry, no, you said two balconies. It's all right.
Two balconies, and it was two couples, and they spoke to one another. And Janice says she loves a good comedy, overacted panto.
Yeah.
Corny.
Rebecca loves Noel Coward as well. Yay.
The Barbican to see Comedy of Errors. That was wonderful.
I've never seen Blithe Spirit. I'm going to have to see this. I'm going to have to find it on YouTube somewhere. Rebecca also says... Huh?
It's on Sky. It's a Sky Cinema film, Blithe Spirit.
Is that the new one or the original?
Oh, I couldn't watch a modern one.
The original's got Rex Harrison in it.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know it was a remake.
Philistine.
I'm
looking for something with Boris Karloff in, or like a black and white, you know.
Hey, I'll have you know, I'm not quite 44 years old yet, you know. I'm barely 40. Well, I'm not even 43 and a half.
I didn't even realise you were 40. You're so young looking, you.
Well,
so
you've had too much gin, woman.
I didn't even finish my first one yet.
This doesn't look 40. You've had too much.
The original film Blithe Spirit must have been made in the early 50s, I think.
At least. Now, Jackie says that she loved Woman in Black, jumped out of her seat when she went to see it. Rebecca says, oh, yes, try to find it with Let's All Say that this lady is one of the best actresses that ever was, Margaret Rutherford. She's incredible, playing Madame Alcarty. And
Madame Alcarty, yes.
Alcarty. And Janice says, was just going to say that, Rebecca. So we've got some real fans of some of those old films. Rebecca says Ian was in for a treat, took me to Gone with the Wind at a local cinema. At the interval, Ian was all ready to go home. I said, no, not.
The film was 1945, so it predates me quite comfortably.
Oh, this is going to be, they're all going to be awfully posh, aren't they? Very, very posh. It'd be great. Sorry, I'm just trying to, about pantos. I never got pantos and I still don't get them, but Rebecca likes them.
Private Lives, Sue, thank you. That's the one I was trying to think about.
Private Lives?
Yes, the one on the 2 balconies. Now,
that's Noel Coward.
Pardon?
Is that Noel Coward?
The new film that Robert was on about has got Judi Dench in it as Madame McCarthy. I've got it. It's on Sky, you say.
She's good, but she's not Margaret Rutherford.
No. Edward Hall. Oh, Dan Stevens plays Rex Harrison's part. Isla Fisher and Leslie Mann. But one lovely name she's got, Elvira.
Oh. And so is that the Noel Coward
one? Yeah, Blithe Spirit.
No, the one with the 2 balconies.
Yes, Private Lives.
Private Lives. I think that's the one that I went to see in the West End. It's like a sweeping balcony down above.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. Beautiful clothes. Loved it. I then, after that, so went to the theatre, enjoyed that, went for something to eat, and then we thought, we want to go somewhere. We want to continue drinking. So me and my friend flagged down Black Cab.
I thought Alan was with you.
Oh, no. No, that was the Seagull. Right. I'm talking years and years ago with Noel Coward. So we flagged down this cab and just said, where can we go? And this is before all this 24-hour drinking. This is when only nightclubs were allowed to open until 12 o'clock and they had to stop serving alcohol at 1 a.m. This is probably pre-Roberts clubbing days. So anyway, this taxi driver, he says, I know one place. I went, where's that? He says, Dallas's Kebab House in Hackney. He said, it's a kebab house. He says, you go downstairs, you have to pay a cover charge, but it's karaoke until 8 a.m. in the morning. It's drinking all night. It's a brilliant, take us there. So anyway, this taxi driver dropped us off in the middle of Hackney. We had never been to Hackney in our lives. All we'd heard about was it wasn't really the West End. And we went into this place. Do you know what? We had the best night ever. And like whoever was working there kept saying, please, will you just have some food, because then you don't have to pay the cover charge. And we just kept saying, we don't want any food. Just charge us the cover charge. We don't care. Just more gin. And we left there. People were singing and karaoke until 7:45 in the morning. And we left there at about 8 a.m. in the morning.
And you went straight to work?
No. We were in a hotel room. We booked a hotel. So I went back to the hotel room and just, I probably slept most of the day. And then went out the following night. So we used to book into a hotel in London when I was about, 20, 21. But yeah, we had the most hilarious night ever. Going to the high society and then going to, it was obviously an illegal drinking place, but everyone turned a blind eye to it because it's where cab drivers went to have something to eat. So they just continued to ply us with lots of gin. And I still remember to this day when we were given the bill, just like, seriously, that can't be our bill. That's somebody else's bill because we've drunk so much. And it was just like the bill was just ridiculously cheap. It was great. It's no longer there, alas, but I had a great night out in Dallas's kebab house in Hackney. Has anyone else ever been there? Let me know, because I've never met anyone else who's been there.
How are you spelling the Dallas?
Dallas, DALLAS, Dallas Kebab House.
Right, ladies, it's gone 9. I need to go. You can carry on if you want.
You go.
leave Facebook till Saturday because there's not been an awful lot posted since Monday. So we could catch up then. I'm not with you on Saturday, folks, I'm afraid, but I am back next Monday.
Oh, well, you have a lovely, lovely few days. I hope work is kind to you and they don't work you too much off your feet. And I hope you don't have too many customers demanding things from you. And positive mental attitude about you are having that car. You are having that car. That is your car.
Bye.
Bye. Now, Sue says that Brian Ricks was a good laugh too. Yes, I saw him live in something. He was very good, very clever. Rebecca says,
who is Brian Ricks? I'm going to have
Brian
to go and have a
Ricks
look
was
at this.
known for dropping his trousers in farces. Oh, it was all done in the best possible taste. He did it on stage and he was on TV as well. He became a lord in the House of Lords because his youngest child was born with Down syndrome, and he helped set up MenCap that became, and he was president of it or chair of it, and through that he became Lord Ricks, and his son Jamie Ricks is high up in the BBC.
Right.
Probably useless information, me.
I've never ever heard of him, but yes, do you know what? You wrote his Wikipedia page, didn't you?
Yeah.
Because whilst Marion is saying all of this, I'm on Wikipedia. It's just like, oh, yeah, she just told me everything.
He was married to another actress. I can't remember. Was that
Elspeth
Gray?
No,
Elspeth something or else.
Elspeth Gray. Yeah.
Rebecca says that Private Lives is brilliant. The one with the old lady blowing harumph through her ear trumpet.
It's all those little things.
And she remembers seeing the original film of Blythe Spirit as a child. Fabulous, yes, it was. And she saw Rula Lenska as Madame Arcati at the theatre.
Isn't Rula Lenska the most... She is just in a league of her own, isn't she? I mean, her hair, her accent, and you just think she is just incredible. Absolutely incredible. Anything with her in it, I always think is brilliant.
Janet says she lives next door to Hackney and has never heard of Dallas Place. I just Googled it and it's not mentioned. So it must have got away with Blue Murder back in the day.
Can I just say, I went there in the early 90s. So it was early 90s that it was.
If it had made the newspapers, it would have come up on Google.
It was, I found one or two posts about it, but you've really got to search and search and search. It was somewhere that didn't want to be known. So it was like these clubs and restaurants that have an X directory number, you know. But it was fab. But it was obviously a place where, shall we say, I wouldn't be. Yes, and I wouldn't be at all surprised if it didn't. There were some unusual characters in there. Is I think the best way to describe it. So it was very much off the radar, but we had, do you know, it was just a fabulous night out.
Brigitte says, bye, Robert. Thank you for your time. Rebecca says, thanks for your company, Robert. Brian Ricks was very much in French farce. He was also part of MenCap. Sue says, Angela's face was a picture when you said he dropped his trousers. Yeah, it was. Rebecca, she was very glamorous but could not live up to Margaret Rutherford. No, Margaret Rutherford was definitely Madame Arcati. She was not, in my humble opinion, Miss Marple in Agatha Christie.
But I appreciate her in Miss Marple. I still love who's the next lady who took over with the beautiful knitting.
Geraldine McEwen.
No, before her.
Hickson.
June.
No,
Jane
no.
Hickson.
Jane.
Is it
Jane?
Jane Hickson?
No.
Is that right? That lady is to me Marple.
Yeah.
She is Miss
Yeah.
Marple.
Julia Mackenzie isn't. Joan. Thank you, Sue. Joan.
Joan. Thank you so much.
And Janice says Hackney is a big borough, probably bigger than Hayton Buzzard. Yeah, you're probably right, Janice. You're probably right. Yeah, Victoria Park. Yeah. Oh no, I'm going into Stoke Newington now, aren't I? Brigitte says that she saw No Sex Please, We're British in Dubai. It was dinner theatre. David Jason was in it. Fabulous. He was a guest speaker at the Women's Institute and did his falling sideways trick.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
Amazing. And Brigitte says Joan Hickson is the best Miss Marple forever. Yeah, I'm with you there. I
absolutely agree. She just had a certain way about her, didn't she? Don't get me wrong. I love the one who was after her as well. I watched Geraldine McEwen. She's a brilliant actress. I've watched them, but
she was in the prime of Miss Jean Brodie. She was Miss Jean Brodie.
Yeah, we all have our favourite Doctor Who. We all have our favourite Miss Marple, don't we? Yeah.
And Georgie says she loved Margaret Rutherford, a great actress. Now, the other thing about Margaret Rutherford was she always insisted that her husband was in her films.
Who was that?
Margaret Rutherford, her husband,
really
was in her films as well. He wasn't anywhere near as good an actor as she was, but it got written, I think, into her contract that he was in her film. He was in all the Miss Marple films with her, or played a bit part in her other films. Yeah, after they got married, that is. And Rebecca says she looked like the description in the book. Yes, Joan Hickson definitely did look like Miss Marple. The little lady sat in the corner with her knitting that nobody would notice. And unfortunately, that is how a lot of people see knitters, because of Agatha Christie's description of Miss Marple. And that's it, really, isn't it? We are forever battling now to get away from that. I think that's how we're seen.
I think I might have to read it afterwards. So that
Rebecca goes on to say she looked like and look up Margaret Rutherford to find out about her life. There was a program on the radio about it. Amazing woman. And Brigitte goes, Agatha Christie saw Joan Hickson in the theatre when she was quite young. Agatha Christie told her then that one day she wanted her to play Miss Marple. And Rebecca said that she would rather be Miss Marple than Madame Defarge. And Sue says she's got to go. Night all. Good night, Sue. See you soon. Yeah.
Wow. What an incredible life Margaret Rutherford had. Thank you so much, Rebecca, for
you've had a quick look.
Yeah. I think I will get. I think that's somebody whose biography I might look to. There must be a book on her.
Yeah, there's another famous actress who's known for her part in The Importance of Being Earnest. And she looks down her nose and she says, to have lost one parent is unfortunate. To have lost two was something else. Come on.
Oh.
Very, very, very famous actress. It was a cameo role in The Importance of Being Earnest, but she was a very famous actress. Edith something or the other. Careless, that's the one. To have lost one parent is careless. To have lost two is unfortunate. I'm sure that's right. Edith Evans. Thank you, Brigitte. She's buried in Brighton, I think. That was her home.
Oh, right.
Amazingness. Yeah.
They're amazing because we see them in the films, but I actually think for a lot of those, not so much now, but back then, their personal lives, because they were kept personal, weren't they? When you actually see their lives, absolutely incredible what they either achieved, kept quiet.
We were in Brighton once, which is how I know that Dame Edith Evans lived there. And we got talking to quite an elderly gentleman, and he said that Edith Evans had lived there, and she went to church there, and she would phone the vicar and tell him that she would be late, was going to be late, and he was to hold up the service until she got there, and he did.
Oh,
she was quite autocratic, I think.
Perfect.
But yeah, you know, those were the days.
There is another person that I will look at afterwards, Edith Evans. And Brigitte, can I just say, I like old films because the actors know how to speak properly and not mumble. Yes, I just find I don't know whether I'm going to be really contentious here. I don't know whether it's because everybody's lips are filled with God knows what and they can't move. But everyone just seems to not want to move their lips either as they talk. And I totally get it. I've just watched 8 series of something. And they mumble. People mumble now. And I just want people to project their voice. So, yeah, I'm sure it's something to do with all those sound bars as well that people have in their homes. But we don't have a sound bar. So I just want the noise to come out of the television. That's all I want to happen. So I do get that people don't speak properly anymore. Georgie's going, her dinner's ready. See you later. Sue has left. So see you later, Sue. Night all. Dame Edith Evans is the one who is famous for how she had said a handbag.
Yeah.
Is that right? They need to enunciate. And they need to enunciate.
Yeah, because Ernest was left in a handbag at a railway station, and she goes, "A handbag." Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to have to watch some of these things. So
there's a more modern film of The Importance of Being Earnest, which has got Rupert Everett in it and Reese Witherspoon, and it's not a patch on the original.
No. I tend to go for the older ones. I just think there's something just so something so special about them, isn't there?
Margaret Rutherford was also in The Importance of Being Earnest. She played the part of the governess who left instead of leaving, she left. I'll give the plot away. If you haven't seen the film, I'll give the plot away.
What is the film? And I was told to watch this, and I absolutely loved it. And I'm sure it was black and white. It was about some cleaning ladies who cleaned in an office and took home some paperwork, which meant that they then made an awful lot of money. Ladies what something or other. I'm sure it was. I don't know what it was, but that
was in something about that.
I know this is a 1950. No, not that one. It's a 1950s style. And there was a largish chap who was very, very well spoken. And
what did you think the film was called?
Ladies what something or other.
What? W-O-T?
I don't know. That's it. James Robertson Justice.
Oh, him. He was in all the Doctor
Yes.
films.
Yes. He was in it.
Let's see if I can find it.
And that was a fabulous film that they were in. I don't think Margaret Rutherford was in it, but it was just a really good classic film from that era. Brigitte says, I'm being quite frank with companies who phone me and tell me the caller when I cannot understand what they're saying to speak in proper English, and I put the phone down. Yes. And do you know what? The number of people who just mumble, it's just like, just get some confidence. Come on, shout at me, rather than mumble.
I've got a film called The Lady Says No with James Robertson Justice.
I'll find out and I'll let you know another day. And can I just say, Rebecca, it's nothing to do with people being deaf or old. It's just the fact that you like to be able to hear what's going on, even though I would say I've got a hearing problem.
I've got another one called The Fast Lady.
No, I'll find out what it is now, and I'll pop it in the group.
I haven't got anything else with lady in the title for James Robertson Justice.
He's the larger chap, isn't he? Who was very
with a beard.
Yes, I believe so. I'm going to take a copy of your thing. Copy link address. I'll have a look at that afterwards. Let's have a quick look. Oh, excellent. Thank you very much. It was a handbag.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on a minute. Ladies Who Do. Janice says there's a...
Wasn't Kathleen somebody else in there, and also Angela Lansbury?
I don't know. Let me have a look. It might be this. It may be me who's got it totally wrong. I'm sorry. It is. It's Ladies Who Do with Peggy Mount in it. Yeah, that's it. Peggy Mount, Robert Morley, and Harry H. Corbett.
It's not the one I was thinking about then.
I'm sorry. I got it wrong. But yes, so that person is Robert Morley. So, but I love that. It's a really, really, really lovely film. So good. So thank you, Janice. Thank you for coming to my site to save me. But I'm going to have a look and see what James Robertson Justice was in, because I'm sure there's several classics of his
films.
Yeah,
Whiskey Galore. And various other films of that ilk.
Oh, isn't it really nice though, thinking, because these films as well, I always find, because the words project so well out of the screen, it's really, really easy to knit, crochet, craft to all of these things. But with the more modern subtleties of film, I just can't do crafting with them.
Yeah, you're quite right, Rebecca. A good film without James Robertson Justice in is The Lady Vanishes. Yeah, that's a good film. And Rebecca says, can I do you now, sir? I think we need to double check my birth certificate. Yeah. Now, what film was that from? Can I do you now, sir? That was Ladies What Do, isn't it? Yes, it's definitely a double entendre.
Was it?
Yeah. Can I do you now, sir?
Do you know what? I think so.
Yeah, because she meant in the film, can I come in to clean your house or your rooms? But of course,
your office.
but of course you read it wrongly and it could mean something entirely different.
And you are very, very, very right. The Sheridan Smith was a spin-off of this, because every single film that is ever made, every program that is made, it's been done before. They just adapt it slightly. But yes, although I have to say the one with Sheridan Smith, it was very, very good.
I didn't get around to watching it.
Oh, did you not?
No.
I did watch it. I thought the end was a bit, but it was good. I enjoyed it.
Now then, for those Gogglefroggers that remember Matilda, who joined us at the Picture House, she went to preschool today.
Oh, wow.
This little one made Robert, encouraged Robert to get on the floor to play with her, and now she's at preschool.
How old is she?
Now 3+.
Oh, wow. So, what is strange is half of her life, people have been shut up in their own homes.
Well, all of her sister's life has been. Elsie, I've only seen Elsie out. Janice Desler said Itma was the program where a character came in and said, "Can I do you now?" That's quite right, Janice. It's quite right.
Oh, right. Okay.
Mrs. Mop who asked the question. I thought it was in the radio, not in a film. I thought it was both, Rebecca, but yeah, I'm happy to be proved wrong. Brigitte says she often has to put the subtitles on with modern programs. Yeah, or turn the sound up.
It's just so bizarre, isn't it? And not all of us can have hearing problems. We just can't. It's just just like the most important thing in black and whites and early colours was the clarity of each word, whereas now it is changed.
Well, Richard's got new hearing aids and they're brilliant. They work. But even now he's saying, what did they say?
I know. It's such a shame. It really is.
Either. I mean, so neither of us are getting what they said. So we're having to tell you and rewind a bit. And then we still sometimes don't get it because, as Brigitte quite rightly says, they're mumbling.
Oh, yeah. So it's come to something when people are using subtitles to listen to a film, watch a film. That's bizarre. We shouldn't have to do that. So you know what we're all going to do? We're going to go over and watch. Well, we're all at home anyway, but we're going to go and watch Miss Marple. We're going to watch a little bit of The Lady Vanishes, Ladies Hoodoo. Was it Ladies Hoodoo?
I think so.
And watch some of these.
Edith Evans, Brian Rook.
Yeah.
Ladies. Who was it? And some Noel Coward.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I would say I will probably listen to. Oh, I don't know if anybody else is an Alan Bennett fan.
Oh, did you see his one at Christmas, Lady in a Van?
Oh, I've seen it quite a few times. It's fab, isn't it? It's just heartwarming. I just find it hilarious. But if for anyone who is a Talking Heads fan, that's not the band. I love Talking Heads as well. But his monologue series of Talking Heads, in the last year, there's been, or a couple of years, there's 2 brand new Talking Heads. So,
I missed both of them.
Well, I downloaded on Audible the latest Talking Heads. So I think this is my second time of downloading Talking Heads because there are 2 new ones and I still haven't listened to them. And I downloaded them on Sky and I never watch them. So at some point I will watch them and listen to them. But if you are a lover of Talking Heads, yes, there is some new stuff, and I just think he is incredible.
I'll tell you what
Absolutely.
else I think is wonderful. And that's David Olasonga doing A House Through Time.
Oh, yes.
That was last night.
Watched it.
Love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely lovely. House in Leeds this time. Rebecca says, I use the subtitles, especially in an evening when I'm tired. Hang on. Yeah, I've lost you a moment, Rebecca. Another message came up. When she's tired from working hard to hear all day. So it's just easier for me to read after tea. I can totally understand that one. Brigitte says that she had a hearing check a couple of months ago and was told it was very good for her age. You don't need an ear trumpet yet, then, my love. Janice Desler was saying that she's watching the Vigil. I'm recording that, so no spoilers, please. And sometimes need subtitles, though that is partly because of the Scottish accents. Rebecca says you need to watch the Lavender Hill Mob and the Lady Killers to your list.
Thank you very much. I will certainly watch those.
The Lavender, Brigitte says, love the Talking Head series, made me cry more than once. Yeah, some of them are very moving.
It is scary how as somebody who grew up in Leeds when I was little, it's amazing how he makes everything come to life in just one sentence. Whereas you look at films like plays, things like that now, and they have to be so overly descriptive. He does it in 2 or 3 words. I know exactly where he is and I can remember it. It's just incredible. He is such a gifted.
Yeah, it is. Rebecca says the House Through Time is a house in Headingley, Leeds this time. Last time it was in Bristol in a place called Guinea Street, and he explained how it was all linked with the slave trade. You've got to watch it. It was superb. Absolutely superb. And Jackie says that she's watching A House Through Time and it's brilliant. And the presenter is wonderful.
He's just so... He brings on all these professors, but he's the person you watch.
And he puts...
He's lovely.
He makes things, difficult things, easily understood. Yeah.
It's just, I absolutely love that program. So yes, we did watch it last night as well. It was great.
Well, I watched it last Tuesday, and then because I'd had my laptop with me, I watched it again on iPlayer whilst I was away, and I just love it. Rebecca says she was born hearing impaired, but they did not find out till she was 30. Wow. Brigitte goes on to say that the Lady Killers are brilliant. That's got Alec Guinness in it. And Rebecca, not only does watching A House Through Time, says, I really enjoy his work. Can't remember his name, though. David Olasonga. Nice man, lovely man. And as you say, he gets professors to speak clearly, succinctly, and in a way people can explain. You can explain things nice and simple.
It's just, when people say, who are 5 people that you'd like to have dinner with?
Oh, I think he'd be one of them.
Oh, he's just, and he's so unassuming as well. So unassuming, really, really lovely guy. So informative, and I would never watch a program like that normally, but it's fascinating. Absolutely.
The other fascinating program that's been on recently is The Secrets of the Museum, about the Victoria and Albert Museum.
Oh, not watched that.
Yeah, that was on BBC 2. You should still get it on iPlayer, and it's about what happens behind the scenes and how they do their conservation and preservation. and about how they choose what to display. And Jackie says, the secrets of the museum is amazing. And I think Rebecca's also mentioning that. And for me, that's been a bit hit and miss. Yeah, I got to admit, some of the things, they were buying modern stuff to show as part of our modern history, to show to become our future long-term history, if you get.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think they show the extreme of what's happening now rather than the mundane everyday, because the mundane everyday is also history. If I'm explaining myself well.
Yeah, you are. I am really sorry. I'm going to come in here now. Kay Facet, is it? Yeah. My next door neighbour, I think her mum bought lots of his kits back in the 80s and has the most beautiful cardigans and garments, and I have no idea what else. So all I would say is, if anybody ever wants to have a few examples of some of his work, let me know and I'll ask if we can borrow them, because I've seen pictures, I've seen his books, I've never seen the work before, and I was totally blown away when you're talking about the V&A and stuff like that. He is really incredible, and apparently Mum used to buy these kits every time she'd go to something like Ali Pali. So that's how a lot of these creations occurred. But I was amazed, absolutely amazed when I saw the stuff.
Yeah, Kay Facet you'll find at the V&A. He's well known, but ordinary everyday stuff that the likes of you and I make,
yeah,
you have to rely on the Knitting and Crochet Guild to have, because that's everyday stuff. But it's the everyday stuff that people end up being interested in because it's what everybody wore. Yeah.
Yeah. But I didn't realise. I've looked at his books and I thought, ugh, like there's no way I'd be interested in any of that. When I actually saw how it looked in the flesh, totally different. So totally different. It was just incredible. And I thought, oh my word, I hope that this stuff is never lost, because of now I understand why he made such a name for himself, because looking at his books, I just couldn't understand it. So
Rebecca goes on to say, on Radio 4, you can get it on BBC Sounds. There was a series, 3 shows, in Hislop, the Ghost Kingdoms of England, looking back at the ancient kingdoms that came together to make England. There was East Anglia, the Angles, Northumberland, I'm not sure what they were called, and West Sussex. Wasn't West Sussex Wessex?
Was it? Oh, right, okay.
Janice says she has a lot of Kay Facet books. I think there are some in my garage as we speak. And Rebecca says that she saw one of Kay Facet's fabulous long cardigan knits with leaves, whirled in different colours. Fabulous, typical knitter. I turned it to see the ends. There were none of them sewn in. And yes, that's right, Marion. Now, what was that right too? Yeah, that was the thing with Kay Facet. His interior of his garments aren't neat. They're just knotted.
Oh, right.
They're not sewn in neatly or anything like that, or knitted in neatly. They're just knotted.
Yeah. Well, I was just blown away, and there was just this box full of things, creations, and I just thought, oh my word, they are absolutely beautiful.
Bye-bye, Jackie.
Really, really beautiful.
Jackie's off now.
Good evening, Jackie. Have a lovely night's sleep.
And Rebecca says that her Erica started making his Tarth stripe tunic, which she has yet to finish it, but it is gorgeous.
Oh, I'm going to have a look at that in my phone.
Earth stripe. E-A-T-H-E. strip or stripe.
Right, thank you.
Strip or stripe.
Right.
Well, it's 20
strip.
to 10.
I think we should get off, shall we?
Brigitte says that she saw a Kay Facet exhibition at the American Museum in Bristol. Fabulous stuff for the wrong sides, but the wrong sides of his stuff was hilarious. Yeah, I've heard that, Brigitte. And Rebecca says that she can't hype tonight. I think she means type.
Oh,
I can never type the word that. It always comes out as HAHT. Any case, it's all over the place.
Oh, well, all I will say is it has been lovely spending time with you this evening. Thank you for rekindling my memories on the beautiful programmes and films that are of yesteryear. And I've done that little bit on another workday stuff.
Have you finished your mum's? Why not?
Because I picked it up, and even on circulars, the end fell off just as I was doing the holy bit.
Oh,
so it now needs. It's fine. All I need to do is put in a safety line, and take it back and do the nice little holy
if you
line
want to drop it around
again.
here, I can put that through for you, so you can.
Oh no, it's fine. I'll do it. I was just sat here thinking, do you know what? Rather than doing it onto a safety line, I prefer to just do it onto a circular knitting needle for speed.
You know, my mind jumps about a bit. Have you still got that large Kilner jar you said I could have?
Yes, I have.
Yeah,
I'll bring it round.
Thank you very much.
It's there. I actually picked it up yesterday or today and thought, okay, I need that. So yes, I will. Anyway, you beautiful Gogglefroggers, I would just like to say that towards the end, we were a perfectly formed, smaller group, but thank you for staying with us and listening to our ramblings. And thank you so much for, do you know what? This is my favourite pattern of all time. And look at me, I'm doing it on straight needles.
Yeah, like mine.
So when it gets
Chika.
I know we just have these patterns that we absolutely love. So thank you very much.
Loves her scarf.
Oh, that's lovely. And can I just say, I did put in a little card with Auntie Doe's scarf. It's from every Gogglefrogger.
I didn't see that. She didn't show me that, so she wouldn't be able to read it, unfortunately.
That's all right. So thank you ever so much for joining us. I have finished my Ginette tonic.
I finished 2 glasses.
Actually, I just realised my middle name is Jeanette. Ginette.
I haven't got them.
Oh, so anyway, you take care of yourselves. We will be back. I will be back on Saturday, 10 o'clock. Robert's not with us. Marion, maybe she may not be. So if it's just me, don't you worry. I will be able to talk for an hour. Okay, so get lots of knitting.
I might be able to join you from another venue. I'm seriously going to have to see if I can get earphones. You know.
No. Don't worry. I will do it on Saturday. You do whatever you're doing. It is
I've got to meet somebody who's only available up until 11 o'clock.
So, Marion, please just enjoy. And you will have an hour with me.
It'll be a quick hello from the picture house, and you can see everybody there. We'll do a around. But yes.
No, it's fine, because honestly, the background noise in those places is really
anybody there the other week.
Yeah. But don't worry. I will be there on Saturday. Marion is out and about, and we will see you later.
And so available for regional day. Not many, but we still have some tickets.
Okay. You take care. See you on Saturday. Night. Bye.